Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Black on Black Cinema. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
Terrence.
What's up?
And Tiara.
Hey.
All right, guys, we're back. This is episode 231 for Jordan Peele's Nope. This is obviously the writer-director's third movie, starring Keke Palmer, Daniel Kaluuya, and Steven Yeun. About a small little ranch that was owned by Otis Haywards Sr. and eventually his two kids that start to experience a UFO of sorts and in this sort of remote part of California. So, look, you really need to see this one before listening to this episode. Otherwise, it's probably not going to make a lot of sense. This is definitely one I would recommend people pause now, go watch the movie, come back. We'll go through it, obviously, in a lot of detail, but this is really one you're going to want to watch. I'll start with Micah. What did you think? This is your first time seeing this. What did you think of this?
I enjoyed it, and I was a little afraid because I've heard from people whose movie opinions I don't really trust. But they were like, "Oh, I thought it was bad." I'm like, "No, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. You just don't know how to sit down and pay attention to a movie." After every Jordan Peele movie, I go and do like check out all the analysis, and we can get into that a little later. But
sure,
yeah, it's a good movie, man. I really enjoyed it, and it felt like it came out in July. This feels like what Jordan Peele would think a summer movie is.
Yeah, that's true. That it's very much a summer blockbuster for him. That's very true.
Yeah.
That's accurate. Terrence, what did you think?
I enjoyed it. I liked it more so as just like a movie. Like, I know Jordan Peele has a bunch of symbolism in his movies. I'm too dumb to understand a lot of it outside of looking for
you and me both. That's why I ran to the internet.
Right.
Help me, internet.
I was like, nigga, I'm not that smart. But it's shot in IMAX, and I kind of wish I would have seen this in the theater, especially for one particular scene, which was super dope. I wish I would have seen this I kind of want the screenshot on my wall. But overall, everybody was great in it. And yeah, he's a product of the 80s.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah. He's a giant product of the 80s as far as the movie is concerned.
Tiara, your thoughts?
I can't lie. When I saw the trailers for this, I was just like, this is a Jordan Peele movie that is not for me, because it was giving me M. Night Shyamalan vibes. And I'm not a fan of his films. I'm not a huge sci-fi person. And I remember when this came out, I just saw a lot of extremes on the internet. There were people who were like, this is the best movie of 2022. This is his best film. And then there are other people who were like, that movie was trash. And I'm just like,
yeah, of course.
I don't really care to watch it. And honestly, if we weren't doing this review, I probably would never watch it. But I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot more than I thought I would. There were some parts where, well, Micah, you mentioned like the symbolism stuff, or maybe it was you, Terrence. But I found myself trying to look for that symbolism just because that's how his other two movies were set up. But I was honestly okay with being like, nah, whatever. I don't need to try to connect this to anything bigger or try to find some hidden message. It's just okay to enjoy it. There's something else I was going to say. I think Daniel Kaluuya's character, at first I was like, he's a little bit too one note for me. But he actually ended up being like one of my favorite characters to watch in this. And I loved how the alien looked, especially like in the last part of the film. And I don't think I could ever listen to that I Wear My Sunglasses at Night song without being a little creeped out now.
Oh, Corey Hart?
Yeah. So, yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't know if this is a movie that I'm gonna watch again. Well, I own it now, so I guess I probably will at some point. Maybe while I'm like folding laundry or something. But yeah, it was cool.
All right. So this is my second time seeing it. I did see it in theaters. And yeah, Terrence, this was a nice one to see in theaters. And like, I bet I could guess what the scene that you're talking about that you like, because it's probably my favorite shot in the movie too. And it looked like I watched it on my television. I was like, yeah, it looks good here. It looked a fucking lot better on the screen. Like it just looked intense. But yeah, this movie I thought was really good. I agree. There is a tendency to sort of look for all the symbolism because it's a Jordan Peele movie. And there is symbolism here. Like, there's definitely a message here. I think the difference is I don't think the message is as obvious to people as at least the message I got from it. I don't want to say that's what it is because I don't know what his thoughts were. But I think the message isn't as obvious as Get Out's message was, which was pretty obvious. That I think even the dumbest people were just like, no, I got it. I see what you're doing. Right. And us,
which is why I'm amazed that people like that movie so much. Right. Like they're explicitly talking about, they're explicitly talking about race. And
oh, you mean besides us liking it, besides black people?
Yeah. Like that. Yeah. Like, okay. Like, I wonder if people got it. Or if it's like people saw it and then they just, oh yeah, man, yeah, Get Out, yeah, because Get Out is one of those movies that's like allies like the site. I love Get Out. I voted for Obama twice too.
Yeah, I'd vote a third time.
Right. I'm sorry. Yeah. Go ahead.
But yeah, Get Out is like very obvious. Us is a little less obvious, but still like, all right, I got it. Like, for the most part, I got it. This one also has nothing to do, like, it's a very far distant story from Get Out in a lot of ways. But I liked it. Like, it's very much, as it's described here, like a neo-Western sci-fi kind of thing. Like, I dug that. And I like Terrence said, like, I like how very much rooted in the 80s it is in a lot of ways. But, look, I think it's great. I don't think it's that crazy to say that Jordan Peele is probably the best, or at least top 1 or 2 black directors working, like, easily, and probably one of the best directors working, period, right now, of the sort of like names But yeah, I really dug it. The weird thing is, like, all of the, at least what I saw, all the promotion for the movie, the one thing I thought was just odd. The promotion for the movie all seemed to center around Keke Palmer's character, but I felt like she wasn't really the lead in the movie. And I thought going in, she was going to be kind of the lead. But I felt like the movie kind of more focused on Daniel Kaluuya, even though he didn't have as much to say. Like, he was a rather quiet character. So I was just like, it was fine. Like, I really enjoyed the movie, and I actually really liked her in it. I liked her character a lot, but I was just like, oh, I thought she was going to be kind of the lead. But otherwise, I thought that was cool. I like that. Again, you get Daniel Kaluuya, Keke Palmer, and Steven Yeun as like the 3 mains. I think that's kind of dope to kind of focus on people of color once again. I mean, I know Jordan Peele has said he's never going to make a movie with a white lead, which I appreciate. So I like that he continues to do that, and not just do it with black people, but like also like Steven Yeun had like a really good year, and him being in this as well. So that's
Wasn't
cool.
The other guy also Hispanic too? The guy
the guy from Fries. Yeah. I mean, the only white character is Michael Wincott. Like, that's it. Who was great in this, by the way.
And look what he did.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, I like Michael Wincott, incidentally. I think he's great. But yeah, I thought this was really good.
Was that the Impossible Shot guy?
Yeah, the director.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get right into it. So the movie opens up with, in 1998, in front of a studio audience on a sitcom called Gordy's Home. Again, it feels like a very 80s television show, even though it's supposed to be 1998, which is weird because it's like the year I graduated from high school.
Yeah.
like it feels like a show from like 1987. It's like Mr. Belvedere with a monkey. Like it.
Yeah.
It's so strange. We're getting old, man. And in this opening sequence, to just add to just start us off at 1,000. It's a moment where like the studio audience has cleared out, and the chimpanzee that was on the show goes crazy and kills kills a bunch of people on set. And I watched this with my wife yesterday, and she hadn't seen it. She was just like, "Really? This is the opening scene?" I'm like, "Yeah, it'll be fine. Don't worry about it. It's not scary." So then it cuts to the modern time, where we see on this ranch, the owner Otis Hayward Sr., played by Micah's favorite actor, Keith David, and him and his son. Fair enough. This movie's got like a bit of a like great voice off. It's like, you got Keith David and Michael Wincott, like, like, yeah, like who's got the cooler fucking movie voice, right? I feel like Keith David should have been in this movie longer. I understand why he isn't, but everybody loves Keith David, so he should be in this movie longer, just out of just because of reasons. So he's there with his son, OJ, Otis Jr., and they're just, they're on the ranch or whatever. And your name's OJ? Yeah. I didn't like that lady. I didn't like her face. I didn't care for it. More on her later. And so
wait, I have a question.
Yes.
Did OJ at any point in this movie? Because now I'm trying to remember if he has. Did he ride a white horse at all?
Oh, I think so, actually. Think about it.
See, you did catch the symbolism.
Does he have a friend named Al at any point in this movie?
Al. What's his sister's name?
Emerald. Yeah. That's kind of funny. I didn't even I didn't even think about that. That's pretty good.
I had the movie playing in the background, so we'll see.
Yeah, the horse that Keith David is on is white. Yeah,
they were looking for Ghost. Ghost was a white Bronco, I'm assuming.
That's pretty good. That's
funny.
So
I feel like his name is OJ for a reason.
It's got to be.
I don't know what it is, but I'm sure it is.
Look, we're the four of us. Individually, the four of us are all stupid, but when we come together, we have the intelligence of one smart black person. So we'll probably figure it out. We got it, more or less. I mean, you never know. So while they're like standing on the ranch and they're talking or whatever, like all this like random just junk starts falling out of the sky, and like keys and shit like that, and like the power goes out, like the OJ's phone stops working, and this random shit starts falling out of the sky, and a nickel actually like hits Otis Sr. in the face, and ends up killing him. And so like we cut to like forward a couple of weeks or months, and OJ and Emerald, played by Keke Palmer, are trying to keep the business afloat. Right? They have this this business where they lend out horses for movies. Right? And so like the first time we meet Emerald, she's sort of doing a safety check talk at this film, and M and OJ could not be any different, right? OJ is very much like what you would think of like a ranch hand, very quiet kind of guy, and M is like, she feels like they grew up like city mouse, country mouse type of shit, right? So I don't know. What did you guys think of M's character? Did you like that sort of portrayal or what?
I thought she was a Baltimore stud. That's what I thought she was. She was, but I loved it. I loved it. I enjoyed the dichotomy between the two. Emerald has all this confidence, but it's part of it is bravado until like the end of the movie. And while OJ is, he's quiet, he's stoic, but part of it is because he watched his dad die. And it just like shit like that affects you. And it's just he appears to already be like an odd guy. So a guy who you wouldn't necessarily think would step up to the plate. Like he seems like a guy that would just go along and get along, right?
Sure.
And not necessarily the type of dude that would step up to the plate until the end. So, man, I liked it. And Keke Palmer, like we needed that character in here, right? Like she is, I don't know if she's the audience surrogate, but she injects a certain personality into this movie that no other character has that is appreciated.
Yeah, like I like the idea of this, like, the whole, even the title is how black people would respond to shit like this, like, nope, I'm not going down there, like, fuck that type of thing. But she really embodies that title, right? Like there's a couple times OJ actually says nope, like when he sees the alien or he has this sort of bad interaction, but she really embodies that sort of like, no, absolutely not. Get the fuck out of here type of shit. But I think you're right, Mike. I think she does kind of represent sort of the audience in a lot of ways. Like, why the fuck am I even here? Like every time he asks her like, oh, you want to do some work on the ranch? She's like, yeah, that's cute. I'm going to go ahead and not do that. Like, no. So, we do see, like at a certain point while they're at this film and she's given this spiel about her company, her and her brother's company, she talks about how her great grandfather, or add another great, was the jockey in Plate 626, from, a series called, Animal Locomotion, a series of photographs, which are like basically the first photographs assembled to make a motion picture. Right, that's a real thing, by the way. I don't know if necessarily the jockey's name was whatever it was. I don't know about that, but that is actually a real thing. So then we see at that point, like the horse almost kicks a person or whatever because they weren't paying attention, and so they basically get fired from their job, and so they head back to the ranch.
If you get kicked by a horse, you probably gonna die.
Oh no, that'll fuck your whole day up.
That. Like I rode a horse once, and all I was thinking was just I was just thinking about Christopher Reeve. Like, please don't die, please don't die, please don't die.
No, he ain't died. No, you fall off a horse.
He didn't. Yeah.
No, you're just in a wheelchair. Yeah, you're just in a wheelchair and you can't fucking talk for the next fucking 30 years of your life. This shit was fucked up.
I don't want to be a Chris Rock bitch. Superman can't walk.
Yeah.
What kind of shit is that? Like, no, I don't want that, yo. I don't want that.
I mean, that's kind of a fucked up thing to say, but that joke was funny. Like, it's legit. But I guess we're not allowed
very
to.
Funny.
I mean, I guess we're gonna go ahead and pretend like we all didn't laugh at that joke back then. We did.
No, it was 30 years ago. It was fine.
Yeah. It was. So on their way back, OJ lets M know that, like, listen, I gotta stop over at this this spot to try to sell their horses, right? It's this place called Jupiter's Claim. It's run by the Asian kid from the TV show that we saw in the beginning, right? He's like one of the surviving members of the show, and so now he opened this little. It's not like an amusement park, but like it's like the worst version of like Busch Gardens, but for like for like Western folk. Like white people like to dress up and go to this thing.
I thought it was the set from the first Thor movie.
It's basically that.
They shot in Andy's over.
Yeah. It's fucking Rock Ridge from Blazing Saddles. Just knock over the set. So yeah, he goes and he wants to sell another one of the horses. He's already sold 10 of them to Jupe, but he's like, listen, I do want to have like a path to like buy the horses back. And he's like, yeah, okay. Your broke ass ain't got no money. Like, sure, let's set up a plan. But he like OJ doesn't really want Keke to meet, or Keke Palmer's character to meet Jupe, because she's always trying to promote her own shit instead of like the actual business. But she gets really excited. She goes and meets him, and then she realizes that he's the kid from the show, and so he like shows her all this like backstage shit. And he goes into this like really interesting breakdown. She's like, well, what happened? And he's like, well, there was like this SNL skit that was basically, you know, satirizing it. And he describes the whole skit with like actual cast members and everything else. Look, that probably would have been a pretty good SNL skit because Chris Kattan did a pretty good monkey, if I recall. Which he did one with The Rock.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah, all right, I remember that one.
Yeah, like I was like, ha ha.
Think about that.
Please stop doing that. I don't need this big black man act like a monkey on SNL. I don't need that. It was funny though.
What'd your black ass father say about that? Yo? What'd your black ass father say about that?
How would he know? He don't talk to him. He didn't. Knock it off. So yeah, like I found that to be kind of interesting, and it's like a weird. It's a kind of a slightly weird conversation they have. Back at the ranch, which is a weird thing to say out loud. We find out
what's weirder, back on the ranch or down on the farm?
Down on the farm is like, isn't that like the saying for like selling beans or some shit? Like it's like green beans. I think that one's weirder. So back at their ranch,
somebody, right?
What's that?
It was a slogan for somebody, right?
Yeah, it was like the Jolly Green Giant or some shit, right?
Down on the farm. Some shit.
Yeah, what is that?
I can't remember, but that's the jingle. I just can't remember what it is.
TR doesn't remember that.
I remember the first one. Anyway.
I have no idea.
TR was like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? What the fuck is a Jolly Green Giant?
Yeah,
Wait.
That shit did not exist when you were a kid. No way.
No, you don't know what a Jolly Green Giant is.
What year was this?
No, this is solidly in the 80s, yo. They used to sell beans to us.
They used to come on when we were older. The fuck?
Yeah, they used to sell us vegetables in a can by showing us a giant green man. It was dumb. And we bought it.
Okay.
Yeah, see, we know. The society was different then. This is pre 9/11. So back at their ranch, it changed everything. Back at their ranch, like Emma's like, can we have like the fun OJ come out? Like, can you fucking chill? You being so fucking stoic. And he's like, well, you know, I got some weed. And she was like, all right, like that's all you had to say. Like, what the fuck? And so like they're hanging out and they're drinking, you know, and they're having some semi-fond memories. And she's remembering when she was supposed to get a horse named Jean Jacket, but they took the horse. Her father took the horse and trained the horse because they needed to use it on the set, ironically, of the Scorpion King, which I had a fucking hearty laugh when I remembered that was in this movie. So she's like still a little bitter that Jean Jacket got trained and taken away from her by her brother and father. More on Jean Jacket later. So at this point, like, it's really kind of funny because like this is like we're almost about 30 minutes in and it's all sort of establishing stuff. Like I was like, at this point when I saw the movie the first time, I was like, oh, this is not good. Like, is this going to work? Like, I like everybody and I like this, like the sort of universe, but like nothing is happening of significance. I was like, go back to dropping trash on people that's murdering people. Like, what is that all about? Right. So like that I thought was like, I was a little concerned at like about 30 minutes, I have to say.
Yeah, because I usually give movies 20 minutes, right? I usually give you about 20 minutes to kind of set up, introduce us to characters, and then like, all right, let's let's get it going.
Yeah, let's get moving.
And it took a little bit longer. I give them 20 minutes for a 2-hour movie, and it took a little longer, but we're here at the ranch, and it's nighttime, and OJ is out there, and all of a sudden, like, the white Bronco is just like, I'm fucking gone, right? Like, I'm out of here, and some weird shit starts to happen. While OJ is trying to get the horse, all of a sudden the power starts fucking up, and OJ goes down to get the Bronco, and all of a sudden he sees something, and he's just like, yeah, nope. All right, it's time to go. Right, time to go. And he talks with his sister because, like, he saw something, and I'm like, all right, here we go. So he's like, well, we saw an alien. I saw a flying saucer, right? And you know, her sister's just like,
nigga, you lying.
His sister's like, what? It's like, all right, yo. Well, if you saw a flying saucer, it's time to get paid. So let's go fucking film this shit.
Let's take some pictures. Okay.
Right. Or
it's a weird response.
She was like, I think she was didn't she say something like, well, I don't know if you saw one, but like, let's make one. And then I don't know, but she was like, let's go film this shit and let's go get paid. Right. Which is like you said, it's very odd.
Well, it's like they're stuck because they're trying to raise money to keep the ranch. Right. And so like her first idea is like, let's basically scam these niggas on the internet for money. Look, I'm not mad at that. I get it. It's not morally the best, but I understand, right? Like you try to keep your shit afloat. But she begins to buy into the idea that it's real quite quickly, though. Like, because I guess just because OJ is not a guy who would have said that
he
lightly.
doesn't seem like the type to say some stupid shit. Right?
Yeah, he just would rather keep his mouth shut and then just be like, all right, this is the fact. So they go to Fry's, one of my favorite stores of all time.
So before we continue, so there are themes in this movie that what did you take away from this movie? Because I want to talk about the themes of the movie, and then we can kind of extrapolate as we go on. Okay. But you said you didn't really do any research. You just wanted to kind of not do research, but like you wanted to have your opinion, and then we'll tell you what the consensus is. Yeah.
I have not read anything on purpose. What I took away from it is that the film is about trying to control something that you simply cannot control, right? Like man's idea of controlling animals and things like that, and that blowing up in their face, right? Like with the chimpanzee, with even with Ghost or the other horses, like they're quite literally animal wranglers, and then with the alien, like certain things you cannot control, even though you may want to.
So that's like 75% of it. So the quote at the beginning of the film is from the book of Nahum in the Bible's Old Testament.
Oh, see, I didn't know what the fuck that was. I thought, I was like, is that from like an alternative religious book? Like this is a devil's Bible or some shit? Like I was like, I've never heard of this.
No, that's the Old Testament. That's the Bible Max, right? Like that's the
Bible 2 X's.
That's the Bible NC-17 version, right?
Yeah, that's
like,
my favorite.
The horror movie Bible. Yeah. In it, the prophet Nahum tells the story of the city of Nineveh and how it is marked for destruction by God in 40 days because of the wickedness of its people. God promises to make spectacles of them just as they have made spectacles of their own sin until Jonah convinces them to repent. The movie is described by the cast and crew, draws many parallels from this verse and story, especially in the way it handles its own themes of spectacle. The lengths that people will go hoping to take advantage of it, and the consequences thereof. The treatment of Gordy and his eventual rampage, Ricky's attempt to create a bond with the alien with no regard for its malevolent nature, the death of the TMZ cameraman and Holst, even as Richard Newby of the Hollywood Reporter points out, the curiosity of real moviegoers and their inability to turn away from the screen are all being cited as prime examples of the themes that are revealed throughout this film. So it's basically trying to profit over spectacle, right? Trying to like world star, right? You see a fight, between two people, like maybe a dude in like a 3/4 length coat and another dude in a white shirt, and they're fighting each other with shovels and shit.
You do.
Right, but we record that shit and we watch it and they post it for the likes, right? Like that's the shit that, and like part of that is leading to, I won't say the downfall of society, but I will say the dumbing of society.
I would say the downfall.
I like. I mean, I think it's pretty fucked up. Like, haven't they had issues in New York of like people dying on the street and people just step over them or record it? And they're like,
right, and people just looking at
this is
right?
wild, dog.
I
like,
mean,
yo, help them.
I know we haven't gotten to that part yet, but like, Jupe's exploiting his own trauma in a terrible tragedy was literally the downfall of him and like a group of people, including his own family. So
including his fucking co-actors, his co-star,
who barely
suffered massive trauma prior.
Exactly, and Jupe feels that, well, because the monkey didn't come after him, the chimpanzee didn't come after him, right? I got this in the bag, right? Like, I'm bulletproof, right? Like,
Micah, even more so than that, like, not only did the chimpanzee not come after him, but the chimpanzee was basically giving him a fist.
He was signing at him.
Hey,
he was
bro.
giving him a dap. What's up, bro?
He literally was like, yo, we did the first exploding fist bump. Like.
Right. He was like, yep, these white people, am I right? Come on, give me some.
That's not okay. That's not all right. That's not okay. This is not an SNL speech, or skit. Don't do that.
So I think that's interesting and
I think it's
So I bring all that to because we're at the point where this part of the analysis begins, right? Like Keke Palmer character's first instinct is to profit off of this,
exactly,
right? Off of a fucking UFO, and she's not, it's human nature to think of something like that, right? Like it's
right, but it's also incredibly short-sighted, right? Okay, right. You took the picture. Okay, like someone will pay you one bit of money for that, and then that's the end of it. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing else after that. Like, the second you take the picture,
they believe you.
Right? If they believe you, but let's say they do, right? Under the guise of this universe, let's say they believe you. You take the one picture, or you get the film. Well, then your entire area is inundated with people all taking photos, all taking pictures, and videos and stuff like that. So there's not you don't gain anything. You get a one-time shot and that's it. How much you think they're going to pay for? Right? Like it is a very short-sighted thing, but I mean that makes sense in the idea of spectacle, right? Like Kobe Bryant, just for instance, Kobe Bryant's wife, I think, just won a lawsuit against two cops who were sharing images of Kobe Bryant's body right after that helicopter crash. Right? Like, they were, like, sharing it around. Like, they were literally, like, trying to pick up chicks in a bar. By the way, that's the way you pick up women in a bar? Hey, look at these dead pictures of Kobe Bryant. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, but they were, like, their first instinct was, like, I gotta get a picture of this guy and his daughter who were fucking destroyed in this. I mean, by the way, please don't read anything about the autopsy from that. It's horrendous, right? But their first instinct is to take a picture, right? Not to be like, oh my God, what the fuck? Like, that's their first instinct, and to pass it around to people as like as a trophy, right? So that idea of profiting, even if it's for social clout, to profit off of tragedy. I mean, we see that on like social media too. Like it's very weird, but it's a thing that has become worse in the last maybe 5 to 10 years, like than I think it's ever been in society. I mean, it's absolutely insane.
And like with Emerald, when she was introducing herself and she had to like name her little side hustles, she was like, "Oh, I'm a director. I'm an actress.
Right.
I'm a chef at craft services." So she is someone that's always looking for that hustle, which someone could say she's a capitalist, or some people could say that she's greedy in some cases.
Well, and also it's in. Sorry to cut you off. I was just going to quickly say, like, but that's also indicating of like the gig economy, right? Like everybody does like these 55 things, right? Like that sort of thing.
Yeah, I just want to say also there were some moments like that scene in particular, like my face started turning hot because I was like, oh god, please don't. And like I was OJ, and then I was like, stop.
It's like it's a secondhand embarrassment. Like, oh
yeah.
There's a lot of that. Like, there's a lot of like moments with Keke Palmer's character. I'm just like, please don't do that. But then later on, I'm like
relax.
Yeah, just calm it down a little bit. She's so excited. She plays that role very well. She's very good in this.
Yeah.
So they go to Fry's to get some cameras or whatever, and the guy who works there is hilarious because he's like, oh, do you need somebody to his name is Angel, played by Brandon Pereira. He's like, do you need somebody to hook this up? And she's like, no, we don't need anybody to do that. And then OJ's like, is it hard? And he goes, you couldn't do it, which is a fucking asshole thing to say. And then they just cut to him in his Fry's truck, bringing all the equipment out so he could set it up for them. I guess he's from like their geek squad or whatever. So he sets up all of these cameras all around the ranch and on top of their house and everything. Then at a certain point, M shows up with a fake horse that she got from somewhere. Turns out she stole it from Jupiter's Claim, and he's like, oh, yeah, I got one of those. He comes by and he's like, yeah, I got one of those too. She's like, yeah, where'd you get yours from? Like, as if she bought it at the store. Like, you know damn well you ain't buy that shit. And she lies and say she's using it for horse training or whatever. Then the movie takes a spooky yet slightly very silly scene where OJ is like cutting all the lights out in the ranch or around the horses and everything. And these fucking aliens show up. And I remember when I saw this at first, I was like, wow, they're really getting we're getting right to it. Like, oh shit. Like, okay, this is a thing. And then it turns out it's just a bunch of kids. And Daniel Kaluuya did what you should do. He punched an alien in the face.
When I saw this,
with a Will Smith.
When I saw this, I was like, yo, don't let these be the aliens, yo.
That's what I was like we're getting to this already. Like, wow, that's wild.
Like they look like this? Like this is what they look like?
Yeah.
Like, nah, yo, this can't be it. This can't be it.
Jordan Peele, you better than this.
Those were Jupiter's kids.
Yeah.
You know, trying to, I guess, prove that they stole the horse, I guess.
Well, they were trying to prank them back for stealing the horse, basically.
Yeah.
Look, y'all lucky y'all ain't get shot. If I'm like, nah, yo, like that's my first instinct. Oh, there's 4 of them? Nah, that's cool. Somebody getting shot. I'm on a ranch. I definitely have a gun. And this is where the first time you see OJ, he was like, he saw them and he went to like pull up his phone. He was like, nope, nah, fuck that.
The one thing I do appreciate I do appreciate that he decides he's going to pull out his phone and he records them in landscape. Thank you, OJ.
On a razor phone. Like he don't even have an iPhone.
I wasn't 100% sure what year this movie took place in. I wasn't sure. Because nobody had like any regular phones, right? Did they? Did she have a regular cell phone? Because I don't even remember at this point. This thing got a razor. I'm like, yo, all right, nigga, I know you weird, but come on, my nigga. Like, stop.
That's the only phone that worked out there. No, it had to be modern because the guy had an electric motorcycle.
Yeah,
the TMZ guy.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, but he probably
and
like,
a reflective helmet,
probably,
which doesn't make fucking sense, but we'll continue that.
No, that was more of like a Cobra Commander thing. Like that was like
with the helmet that he had on, and the
only had one eye.
Still ate him.
Oh yeah, no, they didn't.
It was very strange.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Fucked up its own rule.
Yeah, well, surprise, surprise. So yeah, after punching an alien, we come to find out like they're just kids fucking around. And so they run off, but Angel back at Fry's is remotely monitoring the cameras, even though they told him not to. But he was like, there's some strange shit going on, so like I'm gonna go check. And it turns out there's a praying mantis on one of the cameras that like freaks out M for a second, but then Angel calls and he's like, "Yo, camera B is down. Like some shit's going on, right?" So OJ goes out there and OJ he actually gets a look at the alien as it grabbed that fake horse, and then it was not pleased about it. And then you get the "Run, OJ, run" yell from M. And look, he did a pretty good job. Like, he's not a running back, but like he's doing all right. But then this is like the first time you get like a decent, not a clear look, but a decent look at what the alien is. Like, it exists. It's not just a flash across the screen. I did like the way they reveal the alien across the movie, and then like once you see it, like they're like, "Here's the fucking alien." There's no longer a secret. I appreciate it, and not holding it to the very end, which was kind of cool.
Oh, and that was a white horse.
See,
that was
he riding a bunch of white horses.
Mm-hmm. You're probably going to kill one of them or two, or pay someone to do it. Just saying. OJ's guilty, yes. He's very fucking guilty. It's crazy that we let that nigga out. Like, that's just nuts to me. So, I don't care how many fucking yards he ran. So after they realize that they cannot film this thing on their own because they're just not capable of it, M calls the director from the movie that they were working on, that they got fired from. What's his name? Antlers Holst, played by Michael Wincott. And he apparently is this amazing cinematographer / director. And they hire him to get this impossible shot. And he's like, "Yeah, I don't really give a fuck about this." And they're like, "Oh, it's reality." He's like, "Yeah, I definitely don't want to film anything on reality television." And they're like, No, it's a documentary. And so they're basically like, "Listen, this is an impossible shot. We think you could do it." And so, he lets his ego get the best of him. So he's like, "Yeah, all right, I'll come out and do it."
I don't think he agrees to do it just yet. They go to him. He's just like,
"Oh, right,
off.
Yeah, this is impossible." That's what he says.
Right, and then we get a flashback.
Oh, I was gonna say like Keke Palmer and or M and OJ have that spat, and that was just another like secondhand embarrassment moment because she thought they were on mute. And
oh, right.
Oh yeah, that's right.
that happened to me, by the way. That happened to me at work. Like, somebody said, I was in a conference call and someone said something. I thought I was on mute, and I was like, "That's fucking bullshit." And they were like, Jay, and I was like, oh, sorry, no, I was talking to somebody else. I was at home, like there was nobody else here.
That is like that's like one of my worst fears. I just double check everything.
I do
make
now.
sure that
I thought I hit mute. In fairness, I was correct. It was in fact fucking bullshit what the person said. So I ain't like that nigga. So it is what it is. I was going to say something. That probably would give away a little too much information, and I don't want somebody who maybe knows both of us. So, you know what? I'll leave that one be. So, incidentally, Angel from Fry's comes back out, and he's like, hey, man, like, that shit was wild. Like, let me help you guys, or whatever. Then we cut back, and we see a little bit more of the scene of from the 1998 show Gordy's Home, and like this is the episode in which the ape goes crazy, and they show like it was for a birthday for Gordy, and the balloons pop, and that's what sends the monkey off, and it just starts killing people.
So yeah,
No,
I feel like
this is a real
like
thing, right?
me. I feel like me not being an animal person, I'm vindicated.
No, that's
I
fair.
don't.
I don't fuck with chimpanzees, yo. They're fucking dangerous.
I don't fuck with no animal. No animal.
Oh, you're a
Get outta here.
coward. You're a coward.
Nah.
I mean-
does a dog? Does your dog have teeth? Does your dog have teeth, y'all? Does it have teeth?
Of course she does.
Oh,
Of course.
okay.
They're,
All
they're
right.
adorable
Okay.
little teeth too.
They're
Oh,
not
yeah.
little,
Yeah.
yo. I've seen that little
Yeah.
wolfhound. Knock it off.
They are little. She's a puppy.
Oh, good. They're nice and small to eat fucking nice small babies, because that's what animals do. They flip out and they eat people.
No, they don't. My dog
Not
loves
all.
kids, and they love
Not
her.
all. Not
Yeah, love them for dinner.
all. Do your dog bite? No. It got
I
teeth, don't
bite.
it?
Come on, they're like, nigga, I don't trust you.
My dog
Right.
does not bite people.
I'm not ever working with a chimpanzee. Like that.
No,
that
shit
is
was terrifying.
They I don't think you can
no. They banned it. They banned it.
anymore. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yo, they're super dangerous. Like, oh, they're so cute. They will rip your
something
fucking
like this happen in
arms
real
off
life?
and beat you with it. No, they have been known to like actually like maim human beings. So, you know, they
Well, this in particular, and the subsequent women that they showed, the one that survived, what they showed, the damage it did to her face, that happened.
Yeah,
you guys
That
remember
happened. Yeah.
I do.
Yeah,
I do
I
remember that.
2009 or some shit like that. Yeah, that
Oh,
woman who had a chimpanzee as a pet. She had it for years. She treated it like a child. It was fucking bizarre. And it would like drink and smoke and shit. It was weird. But one day, one of her friends came over and it just demolished her friend. Like it ripped her hand. One of her hands was removed. She went blind. Basically, ripped her face off
Yep.
because it went fucking crazy.
Yeah, she was one of the first. Wasn't that woman like one of the first women to get like a face transplant or some shit like that because of that?
Yeah.
No, yo, don't fuck with
Yeah, and then
wild animals. Yo.
Oprah had her on her television show.
I
Uh-huh.
remember that.
Yeah, right.
Exploding
And they were
spectrum.
It was like, hey, remove the
Yeah.
veil from your face. I remember that. She's like, what do you look like? And then they took the thing off and her face, like fucking half her face was gone.
Face.
Like,
I'm being an asshole.
Oh, I got that.
There was a
Dickhead.
Nicolas Cage documentary about it. We all saw it.
I caught that. That was the one thing that I caught outside of what you thought about with the whole not being able to control animals, which is part of it. But like the rest, I'm like, nigga, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I have no clue.
I just don't want to ever think about having to fight a monkey. Like that seems horrible to me. Also,
You're not gonna win. It's
no,
like you're not.
No, you're not gonna win, yo. They got hands for feet, yo. They got 4 hands. You ain't gonna win.
you can't win. You can't win.
A friend of mine
And
was
they're
talking
in
about.
They can hold 4 guns, yo.
Oh, I had a.
That's
I had
the
a-
most
I had a friend-
niggerish fucking response I've ever heard in my entire life. Go ahead, Tiara.
And why gotta be guns, Micah?
To the side. To the
They're
side.
monkeys. This is their monkey. This is their
I
monkey.
had a friend tell me about this excursion that he went on, and he said it was monkeys jumping on people randomly and like stealing their stuff. And part of their quote unquote act is that you try to get your stuff back, but the monkeys will take off, and it's maybe they'll bring it back, but part of the fun is them just like rolling up on you and jumping on your shoulders and stuff. And I was like, that's not
fun.
I was like, that's not fun for me.
Yo,
and also, if a monkey takes my stuff, then it's theirs. I'm not going to try to get it back. It's yours now.
Look, let me tell you something. America is wild. The world is wild because the idea of like that's definitely a thing white people would do because the idea of white people getting robbed seems like an adventure. Like, yo, that does not seem like an adventure to me, yo. I would be pissed. You ever been held up? Like, yo, that's hilarious. That's not hilarious to me. Like, nah, yo.
Yo, getting robbed by a monkey would seem very fucking fucked up to me, yo.
Yo, what happened to your iPhone, yo?
Like, I know I can't beat the monkey, right? But I got robbed by a monkey. Just that sentence sounds fucked up. Like I don't want that to be a fucking an experience, an adventure that I went on. Being robbed by a monkey, yo, that's fucked up. I don't like it.
I was like, yo,
Right.
did you like Terrence? Did you get the new iPhone? I did. Yo, let me see it. Well, here's the thing. Yo, a monkey robbed me last week, my nigga. Like, what can I do?
And if you try to fight the monkey, you're not going to win. Well, fuck
No,
you
you're gonna lose a hand.
You look like 400 pounds. That's crazy. No
fuck
thanks.
that.
Well, they can they got.
They have
now I just
crazy
need to look up
strength.
every single. I want to look up every single chimpanzee incident because now I am.
Yo, there's
interested.
I don't know that there's a lot, but they're notable. Like they're notable, yo. Like, no. What was it? What's his name? Colin Jost talked about in an interview once. If you don't know Colin Jost from SNL, he talked about an interview once where they were going to do a thing with like a live monkey. Like him and Horatio Sands wrote the skit, and like a couple days before, while they were working on it, a guy had his testicles ripped off by a monkey and thrown into a field, and they were like, Horatio Sands was like, I don't want to do that skit. It's like, no. And like Colin Jost's joke was actually pretty funny. He goes, like, how did he get to his testicles? Like, his pants were fine. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck was this guy doing? like came back and was like, yo, the monkey's not gonna go for it. Like, all right, like that's.
Yo, how the fuck did you get? Like, I mean, I know they're strong, but it takes a little bit of effort to rip some pants off if you had them on the beginning.
Right, exactly. Like, what were you trying to do, yo?
Get dog.
Yeah, like you trying to peanut butter trick? Like, knock it off. Don't do that. That's a terrible idea.
The what trick?
The peanut butter trick. You never heard that? Nah, you Google it. You don't need me. You don't need me.
You got a dog. You got a dog.
Yeah, you got it. You put one and peanut butter together. You figure it out.
I'm all right. I'm good. I always look it up. It's fine. There's something that I don't need to ever know.
I feel like that's a lonely incel thing. Like,
Is it an incel thing?
I mean, who else is letting a dog lick your dick?
Seems like it would be.
Ew! Oh no!
Yeah. Look, I love my dog, but like dogs are dumb. They do that shit. The dogs are stupid.
Well, hey, that's dog people for you.
No,
kiss them in the mouth.
No,
Get the peanut butter. Like
that is not dog people for you.
all of y'all.
Uh-uh.
Not me.
No.
All of y'all. Look, I think one of the things that makes these monkey scenes that much more terrifying is that the monkey is CGI and it looks slightly fucked up.
I had to look that up because I wasn't 100. I'm like, I know they can't really they work with animals anymore like that. But this thing looked real as fuck.
It did.
At the same time, it doesn't. So I had to look it up. That was some great CG.
Yeah, like just in the
really
slight, like the slight way it moves certain times, it didn't look quite real. But like I think that for me personally, like that added to like the creep factor of it. Like it just did. And I was like, I feel uneasy about this. And then when they shot that monkey in the head, I was really happy. I was like, good. Roll that again. Let's play it again. Monkey's on a fucking rampage. Also seeing a blood covered monkey is fucking terrifying. But again, don't hang out with chimpanzees. They're fucking dangerous. So then we get like this. We get this scene where Steven Yeun's character Jupe or Ricky Park, he goes by Jupe on the kid show he was on. He shows like he does this whole fucking shenanigans about how this UFO has come down to their gulch every like Friday for the last 6 months or whatever, every evening for the last 6 months. And so he's exploiting this spectacle, right? He has this horse and he is literally taking the horses, I assume, that he is buying from OJ.
Yeah, OJ wasn't getting them horses back. Them niggas was gone.
Yeah, like,
like he didn't have them to give back.
Right. So he was literally sacrificing those horses to this alien, right? Because this alien eats living objects. Also, if you look at the back of Steven Yeun's jacket, it's pretty telling. If you take a look at the back of his jacket, it's actually the alien ship sort of sucking up something. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I'm not clever enough to have noticed that. Someone posted that online. I saw a number of months ago. I was like, that's cool. But again, he is taking advantage of the spectacle. And then some people get scooped the fuck up. Everybody gets scooped up. And that's not good. Yeah, that looks fucking terrifying. So I'm claustrophobic.
So Jordan Peele does a very good job of tension and creepiness, right? Mm-hmm. Like this movie isn't like gory, but
no.
it makes your skin crawl. And there are just like a couple of things that like the woman who got attacked by the chimp is there, and you know, you don't really see all of her face, but you see just enough of it to be like, oh shit, that is
unfortunate.
Not, you know, that is unfortunate. Then then the spectacle happens, right? The alien comes a little early, and like you said, everybody just gets kind of hoovered up. But again, they're looking at this spectacle. Nobody thinks to run, yo.
Right.
Like nah, yo. Like nah. I mean, nope. Like I'm not. Like this is not. I wouldn't be there. I wouldn't be one of the people at the movie Independence Day on that building. Like, oh, look at the alien and the light that's coming down. Nah, boom. Yo, I'm not doing it.
Well, I mean, we saw some people, or at least you kind of heard people getting nervous, but Steven Yeun was like, "Oh, they're a little bit early. Please stay in your seats. We're about to get a real show." And people were like, "I guess I'll stay in my seat," but that seems a little bit too real for me.
I do not need to see no fucking alien that bad. Get the hell out of here.
Look, send me a link, my nigga. Send me a link.
So this movie, like, I didn't think that we would see the people actually like being eaten and consumed by the alien. That shit was terrifying to me, because I was just like, I feel like someone is like choking me or whatever.
It was pretty gross, and it was like the most simplistic visual effect.
Yeah,
it was like in plastic bags.
It was like being trapped in like a bounce house.
Right.
Yes.
It was super effective.
You know what it is? It's like being in a shower that's not yours, where the thing fucking touches you, and you're like, fuck, like it's too close. Like, why don't you have the weights at the bottom? Like, it's too close, right? It is not lost on me that there is only, I'm like playing this in the background. It's not lost on me that there are very few. I can only find one black face, right?
Yeah, I was about to say nary a nigga was found, but I saw one chick. I'm like,
there's one black chick.
You just
let's call her the Kanye of this situation, right? Just just in a place they fucking shouldn't be. Every other black person was like, nah, I'm good. I'm not gonna go sit there for that. But not old Kanye. She's right there. So, but look, white people don't have any natural predators, so they can't wait to just stand right under an alien that will eat them. So yeah, that's about right. I feel that's correct. That's fucked up. He got his co-star killed. She survived a goddamn monkey. Yeah. Oops. But yeah. Look. It's also not lost on me that these people are led to their deaths by what could arguably be like an influencer, right? Like just this guy who has some level of celebrity, right, from back in the day, and he has taken that and he has, sort of parlayed that into owning this ranch or whatever, and he's this sort of showman, kind of influencing kind of guy, and these guys, they all get led to their death because he takes for granted how serious this thing really is. So it shouldn't be lost on anybody that you shouldn't just listen to people leading the way who don't really know what the fuck they're doing. That's a mistake. It's a mistake in life.
Yeah.
So,
who rep red.
Think about it.
Also, never trust anybody with a bolo tie, yo. Those things are ridiculous. Like bolo ties are stupid. My parents used to make me wear one because they didn't want to clip on.
I had one back
in the day. Of course you did. Because nah, yo.
Look, nigga, we will whack, yo. What the fuck you want me to say to you?
Look, what the fuck? I was a child. Like,
I was a bit older. I have to admit, I was a bit older. But again,
yeah, was I, but I never was made to wear a bolo tie.
I don't know that I was. I don't know that I was made to wear one. In fairness to me, I was a bit of a loser.
A fucking boss hog. Now. But
he looked very cool.
Sure.
But yeah, I do think this idea of sort of being led to your own destruction by listening to people like Jupe's character is kind of an interesting thing to say. But then we start getting like daylight shots of the alien, which is also surprising in things like this because they normally keep that kind of stuff to nighttime and you kind of just see it in the shadows and it's not really a thing. But like Peele was like, nah, fuck that. You see what it looks like now. Let's fucking get to it. And I thought that was kind of a dope difference than how we normally see it. Also, it's a very cool thing that we actually learn that it is the alien. It's not a ship, which I think because I just assumed that it was an alien ship and that these aliens would pop up and they'd be like, hey, take us to your fucking leader or whatever. But no, that's not the case at all. I thought that was kind of a fun twist.
Yeah, I don't know what I was expecting with the creature, but I certainly wasn't expecting that. So like it's simple, it's effective, right? Like it's super like creepy. It's just like a flying butthole, right? And it is, but it's super.
One could make an argument, right? Yes.
It's super effective in what it's trying to do, and it's super creepy.
Top-notch analysis, Micah. It's like a flying butthole.
I'm just trying.
A flying butthole is so stupid, but it's so funny.
Simplistic yet true. Oh my god!
I'm not gonna lie to y'all. If I had seen this in the theaters without like listening to other people's reviews, if I was just going in blind like I try to do with going to movies, and if I saw that, I would have been like, "What the fuck is this? Like, y'all can't be serious."
It's a flying butthole or whatever. Okay, all right. One, I did not notice this. So I'm at this point. Angel leaves and he gets in his car and like all the power starts like fucking acting weird or whatever. And he calls M and he's like, "Look, the fucking alien ate all these people at Jupe's ranch. Like shit is fucked up." And in the background, if you notice. What M is watching, she is in fact watching the Scorpion King. She's watching like a behind the scenes video of the Scorpion King, which is hilarious to me. And then her TV starts to go out and it flickers out. and that's where you see him driving. You see OJ driving to the ranch, and he's fucking hauling ass to get there. And this was probably like this whole series of scenes. This is probably my favorite moment in the movie. He eventually gets there, and Angel runs back in the house because he's like, "Fuck this! I'm not sitting in my car." And he gets there, and like all the power is out and everything else. And when OJ arrives, the alien is right above the house, basically, and it spits out the fake horse. It did not care for that, and slams it right into his car. And then it stands above the house, like raining down what can only be likely bones and other random shit onto the house and blood. And there's this moment of just this blood raining down on this white house, which was just very fucking cool to me. Is this the scene you were talking about, Terrence, earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a scene
right
for
above
me.
the house. It's so fucking dope. I was like, I want that shot. Like, I want to frame that.
Like,
I feel like that's his money shot.
Yeah, like in my original review of this, I was like, and I said, there is a scene in this movie, like, you'll know it when you get there. Like, that scene for me, like, you could tell everybody was like, yeah, we did that shit. Like that, because they linger on that scene and like, yeah, look how fucking dope this looks. And it's just intense. Like, it is just a fucking intense scene. But just all of this massive amount of blood just raining down on this house, which is very cool. I there in a way I kind of want to see what he would do with like a full scale horror movie, like just no messaging necessarily, but just like a full scale like haunted house type movie. I think he would probably
if he
really
ever
nail
did
it.
one of those, that will be the week that I'm not on because I'm not watching it.
You're gonna hit Wikipedia super hard for that one. Like,
yes.
does
Yes,
everyone survive?
I'm going to hit Wikipedia,
With Jordan
and
Peele,
then I'm going to watch it in the background while I'm doing literally anything else. But yeah,
Coward.
I would love to see what he does with the horror movie too.
Yeah, this scene was, man, holy shit! Like, this is really fucking crazy. So yeah, after that, like the power eventually comes back on after it cleared its bowels, I guess. So he like OJ had been sitting in the truck so long he fell asleep, right? Because he was like, he opens the door at one point and looks out and sees the alien above it. He was like, nope. He closed. He's like, nah, fuck that, not running. But the alien's not going to suck up the truck because it's not a living being, so it won't eat it. So he would have been safe. So when the power comes back on, he drives over to the house and he kind of like, he gets them to come out. Like he turns the music on loud or whatever in the Fry's truck. Like you were saying earlier, Tiara, it's Corey Hart's Sunglasses at Night playing, which is very creepy, slowed down. I mean, that's signature Jordan Peele thing at this point. And so they, M and Angel come running out, and OJ realizes something like, you can't look the thing in the butthole, right? Like, if you do, I mean, is it its eye? Is it both? I don't know. But
brown eye.
Yeah. Gross. And like, so he basically like doesn't look at it. And if you don't look at it, it kind of passes you by. And that's, I mean, I guess that's telling since, you know, Jupe and all the other people were staring up at it, and right. And like, and even all the posters is everyone staring up at this alien. So, he figured out early enough, that you shouldn't look at it and it'll leave you alone. Hopefully. They make it back to Angel's house, alive. And look, they eventually get, Michael Wincott's character to come in and do the movie. Like they're like, yo, this shit is fucking serious. Like, it's crazy. And so he eventually agrees.
No, yo, I'm not going back, yo. I'm not going back.
Never?
I'm gonna just lose the house.
Now you just done?
House, yo. I'm gonna lose the house.
But that's your father's house.
I'm gonna lose the house. He be all right. He
Black
dead.
man, give it.
That's Keith. That's Keith Davidson.
Sir, Sir, this is property in California. You gonna give it up because
Yeah,
of
you
some
ain't giving up that
butthole
property.
alien? Come on, yo.
Nah, you gotta keep working. Man.
It just
Look at you giving up that generational wealth. Oh.
Giving up generational wealth. Micah don't want to build nothing, right? Like Micah want to start from scratch with no government help. He built different. Like he
I do want to build something by myself. I don't want no hand. I don't want no hand me downs. I don't want a handout.
You want to hand up
while an illegal alien is squatting on my property.
They can have
your poor kids. I mean, quite literally poor kids that are going to have to grow up learning how to do a bunch of DIY projects because you don't want to keep a house.
Yeah,
it's because I'm a good parent and I'm teaching them responsibilities and real world skills.
Dad, can we live here? No, this is my house.
Look. I've been to college, right? I've never had to know what the cosine of 1 is. Okay. Like I've just you're never gonna use it. Carpentry, you're gonna use that shit. Build a house.
Build a house. Oh my god! There's somebody right now listening to this and be like, "He right though. He right. You shouldn't learn nothing new."
I'm not telling people don't go to college if you don't want to. Go if you want to go. Don't if you don't.
Now, what Mike is really saying is, don't learn cosine. That's what he ignore that.
I am saying that. You ain't gonna use that shit. People tend to get a little too serious when we're obviously trying to have fun.
Yo, look, let me let people listeners in on some Inside Baseball. Someone left a review for this show and gave it 1 star and said that somebody, I assume it's me, is a racist because I get offended when a black woman is in an interracial relationship, even though I'm in an interracial relationship. That's the joke, you moron. That's the joke. They're like, how racist is that?
Is it a joke? Because honestly, I can tell y'all that Jay has commented on my relationship with Chris Evans, and honestly, you would think out of all the white men,
because
Chris Evans would be allowed.
Look. One,
clearly,
it's
Jay
not. I'm not. I've never made fun of your relationship with Chris Evans. I just said that it's fictional. I'm just speaking the truth. That's not making fun of it.
That is totally not true. I am in a relationship with Chris Evans, Captain America himself.
Wow.
Jay is just mad.
As a black man in a relationship with a non-black woman, I am upset.
That means that my bloodline won't be pure. So, yeah.
I read that. I was like, wow. Let me guess. A white guy wrote this. Like, yo, come on, dude. That's the joke, McBain. That's the joke. Yeah, Jay's against interracial relationships. Let me go talk to my my non-black wife upstairs. So their Angel, M, and OJ do what all people do after a tragic event. They get fast food and try to figure out what they're gonna do next. And so they're like, all right, they're gonna go stay at Angel's house and I don't know, fucking play like Call of Duty on Oculus or whatever, and hang out. And then they are waiting for their new director to show up, and he's like, all right, look, I'll take the job. And so he comes, and they set up this. They're working on setting up this like crazy booby trap kind of thing to get the alien to come out so they can film it and exploit it for cash. And so, like, the idea is they got all these, like, those inflatable things they use to sell cars, the fucking waving arms guys. They steal a bunch of those, as you do. And that way they can tell from afar when the power starts to go out, like, as the thing gets closer. Jean jacket is what they're calling it, ironically. And so this entire last segment is them kind of pulling... getting Jean Jacket to come out so they can film it. Eventually, a random crazy person from TMZ shows up. He's got a Cobra Commander reflective helmet, an electric motorcycle, which is dope. And he's like trying to film. because he's somehow heard about there might be, I guess he thinks there might be an alien out there. I don't understand any of this scene except for, I guess, the general exploiting thing, because it's TMZ and they're like the king and queens of exploiting people's death and tragedies and shit. But I didn't really get anything else out of this scene. Micah, did you see anything?
I think I didn't see anything, but I'm assuming that so this was on the news, right? The disappearance of like 40 people without a trace made the news. And I assume that this person represented the eventuality that everyone is going to want to descend upon this place, right? Like everyone is to either see it or to, what this TMZ guy is probably doing, to profit from it.
Right.
And they've got to, Keke Palmer's like, yo, we gotta get rid of this guy because he's competition. Right. And OJ is like, yo, we gotta maybe try to save this guy, right? Because like we can't let this guy die, right?
Yo,
like he's gonna die.
Yo, when they were like, what happens to an electric bike that hits a like basically like a
runs out of power,
like a blackout zone. Yo, he hit that fucking walls like boom and flew. That shit was hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. Watching someone fall off a motorcycle at that speed. Well, if the power of the bike goes out, yeah, like because he basically hit like an EMP.
I feel like the bike would slow down first. You know what I mean? Like you just
that's what I'm saying. It looked like the brakes came on. I'm like, that's what happens. That feels not real, but okay.
For effect, I'll take it. Shit was hilarious.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
You have an electric car, bro. Like,
I'm not worried about an alien causing an EMP. I'm not worried about that.
EMP field or some shit like that.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about that. That's not really a thing that's gonna happen.
I mean,
like when World War III happens, like we're gonna be hit with like EMPs and shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
From nuclear weapons. This is not really it's not really a concern. Oh, I hope my car works. I'll be like, wow, it's cold outside from the nuclear winter, and my arm fell off. That'll probably be more.
Wouldn't you rather go flying through your windshield than die from nuclear poison from like fallout?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'd rather go real fast, not real slow. Fuck that. Fucking center that shit in Baltimore if you
car
fire it
slamming
off.
into a brick wall from an EMP would work.
Yeah, no thanks. I'm good. I don't need it. But yeah, like I found this whole sequence to be just kind of funny and weird. But like it worked. It worked.
Especially because like when danger close, right? Like the TMZ guy is not concerned about his own safety.
Right.
He's concerned about getting the shit on camera. Like even his own imminent demise. He's just like, "Would you get on camera?" Like I don't know, man. It reminded me of like the doofus version of Nightcrawler, that Jake Gyllenhaal movie.
Oh, it's a great movie. It's a great movie.
It's a phenomenal movie. But like anything for the shot, right? And that character was depraved.
Yeah.
Right? Like and he's one of the people that will bring the downfall of humanity. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead, Tiara.
I was gonna say, I think it's so interesting that guy, like he was screaming for his camera as he was about to die, and I'm like, dude, you are still trying to get a shot that no one will see and that you will never get paid for. Why is your camera still the priority here? But that does go to show, like, I do think that is definitely a reflection on society. People trying to get the impossible shot for the gram, and then they slip and fall off a cliff and die because they're looking for that adrenaline high of
fucking nuts.
It's nuts. Wow.
Y'all want an image for social media to get like 50 likes, like that bad, or maybe 1,000 likes? I don't know. To fall off a mountain, like, come on, yo, like that's crazy. Just do the one that everybody does in like Brazil, the fake one.
Yeah, right? That happens.
Yeah, do the fake one. You know, when people are like hanging on the ledge in Brazil, but like there's actually another ledge like right underneath, and it's totally safe. Like that's like a very famous one. It's like, yo, this is not scary at all. Wow, look at this, they're crazy. Like, nah, they just cut off the bottom. Like these people aren't. I mean, they're dumb, but they're not that dumb. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, people dying to get like Instagram or social media photos is. I don't get it.
I saw one.
I don't get it.
Where this woman jumped into a pool of dry ice. Like her and a bunch of her friends jumped into a pool of dry ice, and they like 5 of them died.
Yeah,
what
the
fuck? Like TikTok.
That's a Sub-Zero fatality.
Yeah. And they all just like, what did you think was gonna happen? Like they had like suits and shit that they jumped into it, but like the fumes and all the other stuff, it killed them. I'm like, good job.
And 5 of them died?
Or for like 5 people, yeah.
Here lies Susan and her 4 dumb ass friends. They did it for the gram. I hope it was worth it. Like
they really did do it for the gram, which is.
I would love to say that I would never die doing some stupid shit, but I already know if there's one stupid thing I'm gonna do, it's probably something that would definitely.
Just make sure other people have done it and survived. That's
oh no, they have.
The thing.
They definitely have. I mean, basically, my thing is to go diving with some great whites, and a cage and snap. Also, I would like to say,
look.
Says,
I hope you have a friend there to take your severed hand and take your phone,
first of all,
and then upload it for you. Because if you don't get it on social media, then like, what'd you even do it for?
Great whites don't bite people, so I don't know what you're talking about. Also, I feel validated because there was this black woman with blue hair on Shark Week who does free diving with great whites in South Africa, and I was like,
with blue hair,
blue braids, blue box braids.
Oh, she getting them done 50 cents a braid. She ain't from down there.
Oh.
She got your little cousin in Jamaica doing it. Knock it off.
God damn it. That's racist.
All right. Let's all pretend like it ain't your cousin. All right. I'm just making that up. Okay. Sure.
You are.
They don't know that. They think I'm really upset about interracial dating.
You are.
Well, that's true. I'm a real asshole about that. Wow, that person was really dumb. So then we get a scene. This is all the like get jean jacket out so we can tape him scene. And look, this goes like full on, neo-Western kind of thing with the music and everything with OJ riding the horse and getting Jean Jacket to follow him. I gotta say, like I was kind of getting a little bit hyped in the theater when I saw this. I was like, the music was like swelling and shit. Like it was good. It was very cool, and like the alien was like kind of sweeping in and stuff. I thought it just looked really good. It was a very well done shot. He's got his Scorpion King's crew sweatshirt on, which is good. The Rock would be proud. So they eventually
would claim to be the inspiration of this movie.
He would. When I think about back at Scorpion King, he was a slave. All right, relax.
Without the Scorpion King, this movie would never have been made, guys.
There would be no Jordan Peele if there was no Scorpion King. One of the worst CGI disasters of all time. Good Lord, that movie's not great. I saw it in theaters. So at this point, Antlers Holst, he thought he had the shot, but like it wasn't working. So he runs up to do sort of a manual shot up on a ridge, and he's like, they're like, "Where are you going?" He's like, "We don't deserve the impossible." I was like, "Oh, he fitting to die." Got it. And yeah, I mean, I think he realizes sort of his whole career. At least this is how I read it. His whole career is based on exploiting the spectacle, right? Or like, if you take from what people are saying about this movie, if you take that, he kind of goes to the logical end result, which is even his own death is kind of a spectacle. So he's willing to die to get this shot. But it's a cool moment. I do appreciate Keke Palmer being like this nigga before he died, which was great. That was pitch perfect for me. And yeah, so he gets straight gobbled up by the alien. Meanwhile, Angel was smart enough to wrap himself in blue tarp and barbed wire, so that when if he got swallowed up, he would get spit out, and that worked because racial minorities are mostly pretty fucking smart in situations like this, except for Steven Yeun. Antlers gets his ass pulled right up.
Did he do? I think that was just by accident.
The blue tarp just hit him in the face, but he did wrap himself in barbed wire on purpose.
Okay.
And it didn't suck him up because he was caught on the fence.
And then he gets thrown back down. Yeah, lucky him. Then we cut to the alien at this point, like, starts to change shape, and sort of gets into this like very aggressive mode after it sucks up a bunch of their house.
He turns into fucking Sephiroth's final form, yo. Like this is like a fucking Final Fantasy villain if I've ever seen one.
It takes 9 different shapes in 9 hours to do a fucking special move. But it's pissed, right? So it starts changing shape, and so at that point, M is like trying to run. She almost gets sucked up, like as it tries to eat up the house and get her, but she luckily just gets fucking tossed. And that scene looked good, by the way, like her getting pulled up, which was in the trailer as well. That's a very well done scene. And she picks up the motorcycle, and she, OJ tells her to go the other way, go to Jupe's place, and he's gonna distract the alien going the other way. And so she eventually leaves, and she gets to Jupe's place while OJ's trying to distract. Look, every nerd had a collective fucking moment of excitement when she got to do the Akira bike slide, which was very cool. I did see an interview with Jordan Peele. He was excited. He was like, I got to do it. he specifically wanted to do the Akira bike slide, which is cool. Like, it's kind of cool to see that done in live action.
Didn't they want him to direct the movie?
I think at one point he was talked about in doing it. He could probably pull it off. I just don't want an American version of that movie. Like, no, thank you. Like, please don't. Like, if you're going to do it, make it Asian, make it Japanese, and make it weird. That would be fine. Eventually, M gets to Jupe's place. Everybody's gone. And she lets up the giant Jupe balloon. And the alien was like, oh, shit. I'm going to eat that because I think it's a person. And she eventually gets a picture, the proper picture taken from this winking well camera that's like straight above. And she eventually gets it, and it's a fucking perfect photo. And frankly, you can't really tell what it is, in my opinion. Like,
right.
All that for
that
naught.
Seems worthless to me.
It seems incredibly worthless. What did you guys think of that whole sequence?
Also, like, if the past took place in 1998 and he was a child, then this is probably somewhere around 2020, 2021, 2022. Nobody's going to believe that shit, yo. No one's going to believe your picture.
No.
They're not.
I think it's Photoshop. Right.
Right. Like, get the fuck out of here, yo. Like,
they used to Photoshop shit with pencils like back in the 50s. Like, they're definitely not going to believe it now.
People think they faked the moon landing, yo. Like, people think they faked the moon landing.
Yeah, crazy people believe that.
Like
y'all really believe
this?
Isn't one of them dumb basketball players? Don't they like believe that shit?
Kyrie Irving?
Sure.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
it's
Kyrie.
a lot of dummies. It's a lot of dummies in sports. It's a lot of
Yeah, but like the one who don't he don't get vaccinated. He don't believe in he don't believe the moon's real or some shit, right?
Yeah, that's Kyrie. That's Kyrie Irving. He think the earth is flat and shit. Like, he a flat earther, yo. That dumb nigga is a flat earther. Surprise, surprise. He don't like working. Jesus Christ.
How are you a flat earther and you have the means to do intercontinental flight? Like, how do you think that shit works if the earth is flat? You know what?
That's a flat surface. We've never flown to the edge, Jay.
Niggas don't go nowhere, yo. Niggas
no,
don't
but
go
he do
nowhere.
go play. Yo, he never. Come on, yo. Nah, yo, he got money, yo.
Nah.
Yo, look,
if you're on a plane and close his eyes and then wake up and he in another country, he don't know how he got there.
That's probably true. Like, that's a wild thing. Like, there's all these like how to disprove flat earthers. I'm like, yo, it's real simple. How can you live in California, take a flight, go west and get to Japan, but you can also take a flight and go east from New York and go to Japan. If the earth is flat, that doesn't make any sense. That's it. It's simple. You don't need to do all these other experiments. The shit doesn't work. It's a globe, you dumb fuck. Like, it's not that hard. So she eventually gets this.
No globe. Flat on the bottom, globe on the top.
It's a rhombus, nigga. Everybody knows that. It's on the turtle shell. Everybody, obviously. So then the alien takes up the giant jute balloon and it gets indigestion and blows up. Because that's what happens when you eat a balloon. It's like when the drug addicts carry cocaine in a balloon and then it bursts and they die. Same thing, like a drug mule. And everybody sees the remnants. People see the remnants and they rush to the Jupe Ranch. Here's the thing. She's got her photo again, obviously photoshopped. Then as she's going back, she sees, she smiles as she sees OJ in the distance. Do you think OJ is alive or do you think that's a dream?
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
I don't know.
A lot of people seem to think they think it's a dream. Because you can't clearly
because
see
she
his face.
looked. Right, she looked and then she closed her eyes to make sure she wasn't dreaming and opened her eyes again and he was still there. I don't know. So you could take it both ways.
Yeah.
But I really couldn't tell you.
Because you can't see his face clearly, right? Like it's just, it's obviously him or made to represent him. But I don't know. Tiara, what'd you think?
I thought he was alive, but also I did read the Wikipedia after I watched this and it said he was unharmed. So I was like, okay, he's alive.
I mean,
He just kind of speculated too.
Yeah. Like,
Wikipedia is
I'm not sure. I guess he made it ambiguous on purpose.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so that's the end of the movie. Yeah, I like this one. I think it's interesting. Again, I think the symbolism isn't as obvious as the other previous movies that he's done, but I think that's okay. Like, I don't know what he's going to do next. Nobody knows. He'll pop up in like 2 or 3 years with a new idea. But I think he's 3 for 3. Honestly, I really do. I think he's kind of nailing it. So, any other parting words? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I like that this movie felt very original. Like I've never seen any movie like this. And I think it's great that Jordan Peele hasn't put himself in a box with the types of films he tries to make, even though I think viewers might have tried to do so with his first 2 films. It seems like he's just going to do his own thing, which is great.
Yeah, I actually like that there's no like racial narrative, right? Because that's what everyone was like, that's what Us is about. It was like, it's not what it was about at all. But okay. Micah, Terrence, any other thoughts?
Nope.
No, I just said as a movie it's good. Like I don't even need the symbolism.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, take away any of like what any of that means. Yeah, I thought it was just kind of a fun movie. Yeah, I agree. All right, that is episode 231. We will be back next week for the preview episode for episode 232. Later, guys.
See ya.
Take it easy.
Bye.
You're watching the Black on Black Cinema YouTube channel. Make sure you check out our full reviews of Black movies, past and present. And every other week, we do a preview episode where we talk about a random topic that affects the Black community.